Good morning. Happy Monday, March 15th, 2021. Hope you had a great weekend out celebrating St. Patty's a little bit early. I know I was. I'll get into that a little bit here coming up. I got my happy boy. You can see him right there in the bottom corner of the screen. He's napping next to me. He's had a full morning, so he'll be co-hosting per usual. Hopefully cats don't get too crazy, but hope you had a great weekend. Big show today. Pacers president Kevin Pritchard stops by at 9:30. Really fun conversation with him. I recorded it a couple months ago, actually. He's a busy guy, so I only had so much time that I could use for him and so many time slots that he could fit me into the schedule. So I filmed it a couple months ago, be straight up with you. But, it was, I always go for more evergreen type stuff. I don't like to do like live radio type things where it's so timely that I can't use it again. So it's pretty evergreen, but he was great. Really, really fun conversation with him. Second half of the NBA season starting up. So Pacers getting it rolling. The East is crazy, man. It's the Pacers are 17-20, but they're 17-20, but they're only like 2 games out from the 4 seed in the East. So, go on a 3 or 4 game win streak or win 4 out of 5, and you're in the 4th or 3rd seed in the East. So morning, Brendan. But he was a lot of fun as always. Be sure to get your merch. Indy Insanity. The week is finally here. My Boilers, tough loss on Friday, but they're a 4 seed. I like their bracket. I do. I think they got a good shot if they can make shots and be consistent and not go on too big of offensive lulls. That I think they'll be all right. So they got a good bracket. I feel like they play on Friday night in Indy again at Lucas Oil. Ooh. So get the Indy Insanity merch, Cup of Joey merch. Hey, check it as always. Got the mug right here. Got the dad hat. People are buying those up. So again, they're pretty cost efficient. Not bad. Go get them. Be a part of history with the Indy Insanity shirts, crew necks, hoodies, all below. Go check those out. Be sure to get them while you can. Get them while they're hot. Morning, Brendan. Thanks for being with me. Other than that, I got to start off. Like I said, I know that a lot of you were probably out celebrating St. Patty's Day over the weekend. I love it. St. Patty's coming up on Wednesday. I was out on Saturday. The wife and a few of our good buddies. We were just kind of kicking it and being out and about. It was nice weather, having some beers and everything. And it was a really eye-opening moment for me. Last week on Monday, we talked about how reasons you're old, because I was moving all of last weekend and my back was completely fucked up and I felt terrible physically. So I was like, damn, I'm getting old. Well, here we go. A week later, I got another story that's like that. And it was quite possibly the most disrespectful thing that's ever happened to me in my life. And I know that's not saying a lot, but still. So let me set the scene. There's a place called Coach's Tavern in downtown Indianapolis. It's catty corner from Baker's Life Fieldhouse. Little, on the corner of the street. Fairly divey, but it's just got great pub food, fairly cheap beer. Good spot to hang out, especially on Saturday when it was crazy out. So me and my wife and my buddies, and some of her friends, were outside. Again, nice weather. Bringing some buckets of beer out there, just hanging out, enjoying our Saturday. And we run into. So my wife went to Purdue. She cheered at Purdue. Humble brag, I know. We run into a girl that was 3 years younger than her. So she's now, 21 or 22 officially. So she was out with a few other Purdue folks that came down to Indy. Okay. So we're talking with her. Great to catch up. Great to see her. And her friends come back outside and they're like, hey, we're going somewhere else. One of her friends comes up. Hey, we're going somewhere else. We're taking off. Are you going to come? She's like, yeah. I was just talking to Joey and to Riley, my wife. So we're sitting there, and it's me, this girl who's our friend, and one of my great friends, and we're just chatting it up about, I don't know, Purdue or spring break or something. I don't even remember. I was just catching up with her. And when her friend comes up, she says that we're going to leave. And I hadn't met her friend yet. I saw her in passing. I didn't know her name. Just being nice, right? I just go, hey, sorry, I'm Joey. What's your name? This girl looks at her friend, who is friends with me and my wife, looks at her friend, looks at me, says her name. Hi, I'm such and such. And yeah, I'm like 8 years younger than you. And just walks away. Hi, I'm blank. I'm like 8 years younger than you. And her hand did the thing, and she turned her head, and she just walked away. I was just being nice. I wasn't trying to hit on you. One of your friends that you're here with is great friends with me and my wife. And she's standing right there. I looked at my buddy, and he was like, I think that's the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen. Yeah, maybe I was reading into it wrong. Maybe she was just like, maybe she felt weird, that she was like 21 and was, out with these people who she felt like were much older than her. I don't know. I literally have a wedding ring on my finger. My wife's standing right behind me. Her friend was at our wedding. And it's not like I was like, hey, you come here often? Hey, what are you drinking on? Hey, what can I get you something? Hey, I'm Joey. Sorry, what's your name? I'm like 8 years younger than, and that's the thing. It wasn't I am 8 years younger than you, because she definitely probably wasn't, right? I'm only 27, so that would have meant that she was 19. So she's not 8 years young. That's what makes it even worse. Is when people make it to be something that it's just definitely not. When a girl is just like, you're like 40, even though you're only 25, just because you're 2 years older than them, you're automatically 40. Or when a girl that they don't like that's like a year. Girls, there could be a girl that they don't like that is literally 2 months younger than them. And if they don't like him because like they're flirting with their guy or like whatever the reason it is, that girl will be like, oh, she's literally 12. Why do you like her? She's like literally an infant. You were born in the same hospital. I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't believe it. Jack, 1,000. That's nice. It's Hoove. What up? Thanks for being with me. You know how that happens, though? At least maybe it's just my friend group, or maybe like the girls that I grew up around. I don't know. But it could be a girl that is a grade younger than us. 6 months younger in age. They just so happen to miss the cutoff date. Not even 6 months. 2 months younger. They had just so happened to miss the cutoff date. They landed on a weird thing, so they were in the grade below us. Oh, you going to hang out with your 12-year-olds? Oh, you're okay. So you like 12-year-olds is what you're saying. I'm like 8 years younger than you. Set it to my face with the hand and just push me away. I'm like 8 years younger than you. Just trying to have a conversation. Just trying not to be rude. I could have been the dude, like, like it is what it is. I've been very lucky. I've gained a following that I've been very lucky to have, right? And I'm very grateful for that. But I could have been, you want to talk about being a freaking dickwad, I could have been like, I could have not introduced myself at all. Hey, I'm Joey. What's your name? just so she didn't feel weird standing there, and then it gets turned back on me that I'm, 40. I'm not even balding. I have flow, man. I have tattoos. I'm not old. Maybe I'm a little old. Me and I have fucking Kelly and Ryan on my TV right now. I'm old. Live with Kelly and Ryan Seacrest. Saturday morning, I was up at 6:45 on my back patio drinking coffee, showing my wife how to upload a picture on Facebook. Maybe I am old. You're like 8 years older than me. Okay. But besides that disrespectful moment of all disrespectful moments, it was a really great weekend. A lot of people, the regulations in Indy have gone up to like 75%. Excuse me. Because apparently our numbers are down, which is good. So it felt like a little bit of a weekend of normalcy. People were in for the Big Ten tournament and saw a lot of Illini fans, saw a lot of Buckeyes, Michigan fans. They were out in full effect. Being able to go to like the bar itself and order a drink, that felt nice. Again, foreign but nice. One more story from the weekend. So later that night, the same night, me and my great friend, we were at Tin Roof because another one of our buddies DJs there fairly regularly. If you're in Indy, you should go check him out. DJ C-Buck at Tin Roof. He does a really, really good job. But we were there, supporting him, having some fun, and these two hothead guys get into, of course, like a little tussle, right by where the wires of the music are. So they accidentally unplug the music. So all of a sudden, music stops, goes dead. Probably like 11:30 on a Saturday night. Pump and jump in time, right? Music goes dead. So my buddy Cam, the DJ, is trying to figure out with the people at Tin Roof what's wrong and what they need to do. And then my other buddy that I was there with, he looks at me, he's like, I think this is a slow clap moment. I was like, man, I don't know. That's very sink or swim, the slow clap. Like you're either going to have like the greatest of all, like USA type moments, or you're going to fall flat on your face and just completely eat shit. Like there's no in between. And I said this to him. And I was kind of like, come on, man. Like, we're all right. You could tell when I was saying it to him, he was thinking it over and he really wanted to do it. So he was taking what I said, but he really wanted to do it. He comes up to me again after like 5 more minutes where the music's not happening. I don't know, man. I think the vibe's kind of down in here. I think they could use something, I think people could use something. I don't think I'm going to participate, but if you really want to try it, man, it's all you. I'm not going to stop you. So 5 more minutes go by. Still no music. People are kind of getting a little rowdy, People are getting a little on edge because they want some music, right? They don't want to be in a silent bar. And I kind of forget about it. And so I'm talking to my other friends that are up there, and then all of a sudden, I have my back to the front of the stage, and I hear it. I hear the slow clap. And at first, there's a couple other people joining. I'm like, all right. Turn around. Oh, my God, it's him. He did it. He started the slow clap. But by the time I turned around, I was visual of him. He's standing not on the stage, but in front of the stage, doing one of these. Like a skull for the Vikings. And there's only like 2 other people that did it for like 3 claps. And then like somebody else was like, fuck off. Somebody booed him. Oh man, I like fell onto the ground. I was laughing so hard. I'll never have that image on my head of him like at the front, like, come on, trying to start a slow clap in a bar where there's no music. Where people have been drinking since like 1 o'clock that day. He came back up, was like, did not go as planned. Hey, at least he could eat it. That's all he can do is eat shit. What's up, guys? And then one last thing, man. There's nothing worse than a self-righteous dude who thinks he's a security guard. Like, essentially the do you know somebody here guy. And that happened on Saturday. There was this little section where, people who like knew the DJ or friends of the DJ could be. And this guy was friends. This guy was the brother of one of the DJ's friends. I didn't know. And he's doing the whole, he gets words so that all of a sudden he's coming up to everybody. He's like, you got to go. You got to go. No, you got to go. You got to go. Dude, you got to go. There's just nothing you don't work here, man. You don't. Take a breath. Those kind of, I don't get heated too often. Those kind of people get me, heated. I'm not going to do anything crazy or make a fool out of myself. But after one, you got to go. I'm like, oh no, man, I know the DJ really well, actually. We're cool. I'm good. You got to go, man. No, you got to go. No, seriously, I'm in a group text with this guy, we talk all the time. It's good. Dude, come on now. You got to go. By the third, you got to go. Then you're getting who the fuck are you from me, There's always those kind of guys. I don't know why they take it upon themselves to do that. Hey, it's a bar. They have security. It's okay. They do. Bouncers, the whole thing. You don't got to do it. It's all right. So that was the weekend. I hope you guys had a good St. Patty's weekend. I don't know. It's weird with St. Patty's landing on a Wednesday. You could do it before. You could do the weekend before. I guess you could probably do the weekend after. It's like when Halloween lands on a Tuesday through Thursday. What are we doing? Are we doing both? Could probably get away with it. I don't know. All right, let's get into a little triple shot. Drew Brees announces his retirement yesterday. And, man, he did it, right in the heart of everything going on with college basketball. The Big Ten Championship was like a back-and-forth crazy contest going on, or the selection show or whatever it was. And all of a sudden, Drew Brees with the kids retiring. 20 years. What can you say that hasn't been said about Drew Brees? 20 years, 15 of them with New Orleans. Louisiana legend. I congratulate him from Coach O last night. He announced this morning on NBC he's going to be working on Good Morning America. Or not Good Morning America. What's NBC? The Today Show. He announced on the Today Show he's going to be joining NBC he, signed the contract last summer, so he's going to be doing that. Hopefully he doesn't take over for my guy Collinsworth. Maybe when Uncle Al retires, Collinsworth will just slide over and be play-by-play, and then Collinsworth slide over. See what I did? Collinsworth will slide over, be the play-by-play guy, and then Drew Brees could be the color commentator. That'd be cool. Joe Buck has always said that Chris Collinsworth is the only analyst / color commentator that could do play-by-play. Said that in his book. I believe it. Just a smooth operator, man. Collinsworth's smooth, so I think he could. I was lucky enough I got to meet Drew Brees. I got to meet him last year. National championship in New Orleans for LSU Clemson. 2020 national championship, that is, obviously. And man, it was such a turn of events, right? I at first just made myself out to be the biggest dweeb dork to Drew Brees, and then by the end of it, we came together. So I'm in this suite for Twitter because they invited me down to the national championship. Cool. I'm in there with Dude Perfect and a few other Twitter people, and all of a sudden there's rumors swirling oh, I think Drew Brees is going to come. I think Drew Brees is stopping by the suite. I'm like, what? Holy shit. Sweet. Boiler guy, wife went to Purdue. Hell yeah, I love Drew Brees. And literally like a minute after all those murmurs were happening, in walks Drew Brees. And I'm the first person he sees. I'm standing like right by the doorway of the suite. So he walks in, kind of looking around. Like, I literally go, holy shit, Drew Brees, what's up, man? That's literally what I said. And went to shake up with him. Of course, he didn't know who the hell I was. Didn't expect him to. So he was just like, oh, hey, buddy, hey. Shook my hand. Cool. Got to say what's up to Drew Brees. Take it. He goes over to talk to Dude Perfect because his kids really like Dude Perfect and, wanted to meet and everything like that. So I'm standing there, and Alex, the guy who runs the Saints social media, is in this same suite as me. So we're talking. He's like, dude, we got to do a video with you and Drew. Okay. I mean, that sounds great. I don't want to bother him. He's getting people literally. I'll get into this a little bit. Never seen more people want to get a picture of somebody. Like it was crazy with Drew Brees, not with me and Alex. And so Alex is like, no, man, like it'll be great. We'll get you and him, and we'll do Coach O. Like I work with him all the time. He'll be fine. Like he'll do it. All right, man. Like I'm not going to go up to Drew Brees and pitch him a video idea when he's getting pulled in a million directions. If you want to do that and he agrees, I'll gladly do it. So Drew finishes with Dude Perfect. I'm kind of standing there awkwardly, like everybody else trying to get a picture with him or whatever. He finishes, turns around. Alex is like, Drew. He's like, grabs him. He's like, Drew, this is Joey Molinaro. He does and Drew's like, yeah, I just met the guy. He's like, yeah, I just met him. Like, trying to brush me off, obviously, because he had to go. And I was like, what's up, man? And Alex says, he's like, no, he does a Coach O impression. Like, you guys got to do a Coach O video together. And then Drew kind of started to turn a little bit. He trusted. Alex was a great middleman. He started to trust him. So he's like, oh, yeah? You do? And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, hey, my wife went to Purdue, Boiler Up. He's like, oh, hell yeah, Boiler Up. And so he's like, so we doing this? I was like, yeah. And I was like, let's go Tigers like on one, right? And he's like, all right. So Alex takes out the phone, filming. And I'm standing right there next to Drew Brees. 3, 2, 1, go Tigers. He does Coach O. I do Coach O. He does Coach O with me. And after I did Coach O, you could tell like then it really clicked for him. He's like, I get what's going on. That was good. Then it went from like a weird shake at the beginning to he did a dap and we did a hug. We brought it around. I brought it in with Drew Brees. I tucked it. I was staying there. I was hitting the back, dude. I wasn't letting him go. And then they had to pull me away. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't like but, here, right on, man, Boiler Up. He's like, good shit, man. I was like, thank you. And then he walked away. So super cool. Great dude. A real all-time moment for me. My wife got scammed out of a ticket, so she couldn't be there. Obviously, she's Purdue, so she would have loved it. But I sent her that video. She couldn't believe it. And but then I'm outside in the hallway of the suite at the Superdome, and there's no service, right? The service is really bad. So the best place you can try to get service is getting away from it, trying to go out in the hallway. And I'm out there, and dude, there's just a line, and everywhere Drew turned, get a picture. Hey, it's my 21st birthday. Hey, I went to Purdue. Hey, blah blah blah. You worked with me on this thing, like crazy, right? Everybody, literally a line in the suite hallway to get a picture with Drew Brees. And I'm standing there watching. I'm like, this is wild, dude. And finally, I was like, when is it going to – because I was wondering that. I was like, at what point is it going to be done? Like, at what point – how does he get away from this? Kid you not. And I totally respect it. Like, somebody came up, and he literally, like, was like, yeah. Literally changed, all of a sudden put on, like, business Drew, like he was in the huddle, and, like, leaned his head out to the whole hallway. It was like, last one, and then I got to go. Last one. I was like, oh, so that's how they get, like – they just start up front with people and they just have to call it off. Because if he did call it off, he would have been doing that in the hallway the entire game. Took the picture, called it off, went with his kids. And that's it, man. Into the fucking history books he went, never saw him again. Actually, I did see him again because him and Sean Payton were at the suite right next to me. And then I had to perform for the Saints a month later in Indy. I had to try to do a Sean Payton impression. I don't know if you've heard Sean Payton talk, but he just talks like everybody else. And the only thing he has is like the squint. He's got a real big squint, even when it's not sunny, even in a Superdome. I know the lights are bright, but they're not that bright, Sean. So I kind of made fun of him about that. Anyways, Drew Brees retired. He's going to work for NBC. NFL free agency begins today until Wednesday. I've already seen some deals start happening around the league. The Ravens signed, what's his name, Kevin Zeitler. So they're re-upping on some offensive linemen. Steelers got to do that. I saw my boy Kyle Long is going to visit with the Raiders. His dad obviously is a Hall of Famer there, so makes sense. And everybody's been asking me about Juju. I can't go anywhere without people asking me about Juju. And you know, he put out a post and kind of made it seem like, look, I'm probably not going to be back here, but it's been a hell of a 4 years. Pittsburgh will always be home kind of thing. Don't fault Juju at all. Go get your money, dude. I mean, like, if the Steelers can't pay you, they can't pay you. Go get your money. Do your thing. I'll always be a fan of Juju. Like, he's a fun dude. He's a good dude. Does a lot of good things. Gets a lot of shit. But I think it's just because people are jealous, honestly. He's a one-name brand. Oh, Happy. What are you doing? What are you doing, Bubba? Say hi. Say good morning. Say good morning, everybody. Yeah, I kissed my dog in the mouth. Shut up. So Juju will probably be gone. This is always fun, though. You know, it's like NFL is finally they're catching up to like the NBA with free agency and all that kind of shit to where people are really like, whoa, damn. And you still got the trades that might happen with Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson. So it's going to be a fun next couple of days. I don't think Juju will be back in Pittsburgh. It's all right. Probably best for both sides. Oakland or New York, maybe Miami. One of those three, I'd say, is probably where he goes to. The last for triple shot here, the Dickie V airball call. I don't know if you guys saw this. One of Dickie B's finest moments, in my opinion. I'm going to pull it up here. So Dickie V is calling the Alabama-Tennessee SEC semifinal game, right? And he's calling it with Carl Ravitch. And let me see here. I'll get it. I'll get it up and I'll share screen it. Classic Dickie V moment. Look at Happy. What is he doing? What are you doing? You're eating a plant? Your mom's going to kill you. Hey, no. Go on. Go on. Get out. So Dickie V's calling this game, right? And we all know Dickie V for all of his stuff that he does. Yo, the primetime players and the diaper dandies and the you're suing us. We all know him for that. And he's, Dickie V's getting up there a little bit. So it's a little tough for Dickie V sometimes, especially, and my dog continues to eat the plant, even though he's not supposed to. Come on. Come on, here. There you go. Eat the shoe. Have the shoe. All right. Anyways, Dickie V's getting up there, and especially calling a game when you're not in the building. I don't think they were there. I think they were calling this game remotely. And it's even another, another element to this, right? So it's 7 seconds left. Alabama's up 3, 71-68, 7.4 seconds left in the game. And Dickie V just had a message for Alabama that he needed them to hear. And I'm going to see if I can play it for you guys here because it's just too good to not. Let's see. Here we go. Let's share this. Let's go here. Maybe? So bad with this, dude. Here we go.
Don't let him shoot the three. He launches. It's on the line. It's short. Alabama. Don't let him shoot the three. You don't let him shoot the three. An air ball. Don't let him shoot the three. He launches. It's on the line.
Wait.
Don't let him shoot the three. He launches. It's on the line. It's short. Alabama. Don't let him shoot the three. You don't let him shoot the three. An air ball. Don't let him shoot the three. He launches. It's on.
Oh my God, Carl Ravitch had to, dude. You don't let him shoot the three. You don't let him shoot the three. You don't let him shoot the three. Perfect comedic pause there from Carl Ravitch. After the 4, you don't let him shoot the 3. An air ball. Oh, I think Ravitch had to kind of wrap his head around, like, does he know that he didn't make it? Or is he still that mad that he let him shoot the 3 even though he missed it? So funny, man. I mean, to be fair, the air ball did, like, it hit nothing. The shot hit nothing but net. It just didn't go through the rim. So, to Dickie V's credit, it wasn't that bad, especially remotely. But that pause from Ravitch, you don't let him shoot the 3. An air ball. People hate on Dickie V a lot now. It's become like one of those trendy things where he's been around for so long that people, like to give him shit and like to hate on him and call him senile and things like that. But I mean, he's Dickie V, dude. He's a legend. He's good for the sport. You know what I mean? You don't let him shoot the 3. All right, we're going to do bracket do's and don'ts after this, but I wanted to get to the interview with Kevin Pritchard, the Pacers president of basketball operations. He's running the show there. He is running the show, so he makes all the calls, and really great dude. He's been around for a while. Fun conversation. Like crazy that he took the time with me and took 30 minutes or so to talk and talked about all sorts of things. Full disclosure, I recorded it about 2 months ago. I've just been sitting on it in the can, but I knew I wasn't going to air it right away, so I tried to make it as evergreen as possible. So I hope you enjoy it. My conversation with Pacers president of basketball operations, Kevin Pritchard.
Joey, with the president of basketball operations for your Indiana Pacers, Kevin Pritchard. Kevin, how are you, my man? How are things going?
I'm doing good, getting ready for the season. Got a couple days. Wednesday's first game, but excited to get going. They start to count now, and so we're excited. And our players, we're getting healthy, which is the biggest thing. So thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, I mean, this is a quick turnaround for you guys coming from the bubble to here. Has it been weird? Is it a tough adjustment for you guys?
I think that the most challenging part of this has been, we went from the bubble to hiring a new coach, which we went through a really thorough process. I mean, we interviewed probably 12 to 15 people, and we took our time in those interviews, and then we cut it down to 5 or 6 and had them come to Indiana, and we spent days with them. So it was an in-depth process, and Nate Bjorkgren, our head coach, kind of surprised everybody in that, we had all our list, and to be honest with you, he wasn't on the beginning of the list, but he did such a good job in one of these Zoom interviews that we said, God, we need to interview him. And then we went from that to hiring another assistant general manager in Ted Wu, and we hired him from the league office as our cap guy and assistant general manager. And then we went right into draft and then free agency, and then the season started.
Yeah.
Or at least the preseason to get ready. So it's been a very condensed off season. I mean, it feels like just a couple months ago, and it's true, we just finished the season. So that's a challenging, but we like it because we're making it like a game. We're trying to make this as upbeat. We're trying to stay positive as much as we can through COVID. We're looking at COVID kind of like as the 30th opponent. And I think when we get tested every day.
Yeah.
And
Have you had it? Have you had it?
No, I haven't had it.
You haven't? Nice.
No.
Good for you. I had it in November.
Actually, I heard it sucks, by the way.
I was down for about a week, but it was all right.
Did you lose your taste?
Yep. No taste, no smell. Then it just felt like a really bad cold and just like, other stuff. But yeah, it had me down for about a week, but bounced back, and like you said, we're staying positive. So
are you a lot of our players kind of wanted to get it before the season because then they could be done with it, and
for sure. Yeah.
Do you feel better about that though?
Yeah, definitely. It's like, okay, especially I'm like a hypochondriac. So it's just like I checked it off. I'm like, all right, I don't got to wonder anymore. It's done. I luckily, thank God, didn't have to go to the hospital or anything. Like, get it out of the way. So I hear you on that. That's the old herd immunity kind of take there by the players. I don't blame them.
The thing that I missed most, Joey, is I miss in life having friends over for dinner, and like we've been really careful, and our team has been. But more than anything, there's a community feel that happens in a basketball or football or a baseball game where you're getting together. You're sitting by your dad or your best buddy, and you're just chopping it up, talking about life, talking about anything, and all of a sudden you're in a basketball game and you're watching a highlight, and then you're saying, "Wow, did you see that player do that?" And there's something about getting together that as human nature we need and we miss. And so I can't wait for the vaccine to kick in and have fans, because we had one preseason game and literally I sat in a suite and I was by myself, and it wasn't an immersive feeling. I mean, I love watching the game, but what I miss is talking to people, interacting with people. And then really, I think what we live for in sports is that last 2 minutes of the game where you never know who's going to win. A last second shot, the crowd goes crazy. There's incredible energy. And for me, that's what I miss most about this whole, COVID thing, is just missing the interactiveness of a phenomenal basketball game, whether it be high school too, because I grew up here in Indiana, and I remember going and seeing Noblesville versus Anderson, and there'd be 5,000 people and it'd be a crazy game. So it's been an adjustment just watching, and I can't wait for it to get back. Yeah,
same. I mean, before all this happened, I was lucky enough just through like different connections and stuff and get my own ticket. I mean, I swear I was going to like 3 Pacers games a week, it felt like, and I was hitting tin roof before and after, and then I was going to the Pacers game and having a great time. And then, like you said, all this happens and it kind of gets swept out from under you. So that the new head coach, Nate Bjorken, correct?
Nate B.
Nate B. There you go. Was having the first name Nate, is that part of the requirement now?
No. I've had a few people ask me that, but no. That's just
no
coincidence.
Yeah. So he's playing. He's going to be playing some more up tempo, right? I mean, what can we expect from Coach Nate?
Well, I've never seen – the thing why we really went with Coach B was this. He really thinks about everything he does at practice to make it a very immersive game-like situation. It's not a traditional practice. I've never seen some of these practices, and it's very quick. People have talked about Chip Kelly a little bit, and how they play. We won't play like Chip Kelly. It won't be that, pass. It won't be that equivalent basketball. But I can see in his practice, I was lucky enough to see a Chip Kelly practice, 8 years ago. And our practices feel like that. I mean, we go from drill to drill to drill. We're in the next drill in 5 seconds. And he's upset if it takes 10 or 15. So we'll be playing a drill, and he'll blow the whistle, and he'll say, "Get over, shooting threes. We're shooting contested threes." And so there's a real pace to it that I've never seen before. And we're starting to see it in the games. I mean, we're playing with a lot more pace, and we're shooting a lot more three-pointers.
Yeah.
And we're defending different. We're really a pressure defense right now, which we've been more of a pack it in, keep the game slow kind of a team, and it's been successful. It's we've been great defensively. What I think is going to happen, I think it's still going to take some time. Anytime you put in a new system, it just takes a little time.
Yeah.
But our guys have just loved it. I mean, the feedback from the players, they love the practice because it's quick. We get in, we get our work done, and then we get out, and guys are enjoying it. And now we got to go out and kind of see where we are. But, in a normal NBA season with, 3 weeks or 4 weeks, we'd be able to see the system a little bit more. And so I think we're a little not worried, but we're wondering how fast we can get the system in. But I love it. I've seen a lot of different systems. It's very fast. It's quick hitters, and our guys are going to really enjoy it. And at the end of the day, you got to get your guys to buy into a system that they enjoy, and they love it. So,
Yeah.
and we're still going to, we have one player that has really been terrific at camp. Well, we've had more than one, but Domas has played really well. And, you're going to see Domas play like a point guard for us. He's going to be our playmaker in a lot of ways. I mean, Malcolm and Victor still will handle the ball a lot, but, Domas creates so much trouble on the defense with his dribble handoffs and his passing ability. And you're going to see even more of that. He's going to have a monster year, would be my guess. And it's been really fun to watch. The energy in this building is off the charts.
Good.
I can't remember the last time that happened is when we signed David West and we went to Eastern Conference Finals. Now, I'm not saying we're going to Eastern Conference Finals. Our goal is to do that, but I can tell you this, the energy in the building is crazy good. And usually that's something that is a precursor to success.
So you said that this process with hiring Coach B, it was extensive. You had 10, 15 people, 12, 15 people in there. What is an interview for a head coach of an NBA basketball team like? Because, us regular folk, we think of job interviews and it's like, you sit down, where do you see yourself in 10 to 15 years? What do you like to, right? Like, what do you like?
Your goals?
What are your goals? What do you like to do in your free time? Like, what does this look like when you're hiring a potential NBA head coach?
Well, we put a couple things up on the board that we said, here are 4 or 5 criterias as we go through the process that are important to us. Learning ability, adaptability. And so without giving everything, we put up what we wanted in a head coach. And then we went through the interviews, and we started with the Zoom, and we did about an hour and a half to 2 hours on a Zoom meeting with about 15 or 16 people. And we really let them talk. I didn't want the interview to be, here's a question, and then you tell me the answer. What I wanted to do is I wanted his personality, his or her personality to come out. And so the first question was, tell me what you've done the last 10, 15 years since your high school days. And so it got them talking about their college experience and then their NBA experience if they had any, and then it got them talking. And then I would ask a question like, so what are your thoughts around the new NBA? It's, it looks like we're shooting more threes. What kind of offense do you think gets more threes? And so they talk a little bit about the offense, and then they talk about the defense in similar fashion. But it was really more about, could I hear some enthusiasm behind the voice? Like,
yeah,
you can say a lot of things. Like, I'm a big believer in this, Joey. Sometimes it's not what you say and how you say it. It's what you leave the listener feeling. Like, how do they make you feel? And I wanted a coach that made you feel good about yourself. At the end of the day, bottom line, the most important thing I felt like going through this process was, look, I've been a fringe NBA player. I was a decent college player. And when my coach believed in me and I had more confidence, I was a much better player, period. End of discussion, no more to think about. And so I wanted my coach to make me feel like he was going to instill confidence in the players.
Yeah.
Bar none. I think Frank Reich does a great job of that. I hear him talk about the players. And quite frankly, we some people think that we have this, competition with the Colts. We really don't. Like, Chad Buchanan and me and their management team have a friendly relation. We called them up and they said, here's what we looked at when we hired Frank. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I know that if you ask a lot of questions and ask a lot of smart people, sometimes you can learn things. So
yeah.
I really wanted somebody that could bring some positive energy into this building and make the players feel better about themselves. And quite frankly, Nate B hasn't cursed. I've not heard him curse yet. I've heard him get on the team, but I'll bet you it's 9-1 positive to negative. And, we need that, especially with this kind of a new player. There's a new player in the air, and we've got to communicate with them. It's not up to them to communicate with the older guys. We've got to figure out how to get to them. And so I felt like
a tough adjustment for you.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I'll give an example. After the game, I mean, I played with Larry Bird and the Celtics for a little bit, and I remember, Larry would never have gone and shook the other team's hand after the game. That's just not what you do. It's not what you did. It's not good or bad. I'm not minimizing but today, these players have played in AAU together. They played in some USA basketball together. They played somewhere together. So it's a relationship that after the game, and sometimes, old folks like myself have struggled with that, but
yeah,
it's not, I'm a big believer. It's not up to them to talk at our level. They're blazing their path. We got to figure out how to get to them. And a big part of hiring Nate was that I felt like he could communicate with them.
Yeah, I got to applaud you for that, because I feel like it's, I'm only 27, luckily, but I am getting older. And so, I look at people who are now 20, 21, 22, some things that they do, some things they say, some things that they believe in or whatnot. I'm kind of like, I don't know about that. So I applaud you for having that mentality and not feeling like, oh, well, I'm the president of the basketball operations and you got to answer to me. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a really, really big part.
Back in the day, we used to do it like this.
Right. Yeah. No, that's huge, especially for, when you got 12 guys or whatever on an NBA team that are all 19 to 27. I mean, that would be hard. So good on you for being that way. Do you like your seats where you sit at the game in the corner right by the tunnel? I feel like maybe, you have any desire to kind of get like the Mark Cuban aspect going, sit courtside, none of that?
I don't, there was a time in my life where sitting front row by the team would have been pretty cool. I think one of the measures of success that when we hire management people, kind of like, people that are over themselves.
Okay.
And, it's not important for me to be seen in Portland. When I was general manager, I did a lot more interviews. I was, out there a little bit more. Here in Indiana, I want the players. I'm pushing the players to be out in front. So I don't like being out in front anymore. That's not important to me. I don't think it's important to my general manager, assistant general managers, and even to Coach Nate. He likes the players. This is a players' league, about the players. Your success is determined by how your players play, period. So we try to make them the focal point. I don't ever want to try to be the focal point. Personally, where I like to sit is behind the bench towards the end, about 15 rows up. So I've got kind of an angled look down the court.
Okay.
I can see how things are developing at me, and I can see how they're developing down that way. To me, those are the best seats in the house.
Okay.
Where sometimes, other people just want to, and it's a different experience. You've sat on the first row. Sitting on the first row and seeing how big they are, and when they run by and the wind hits you, and you're like, that's a lot of person moving, and that is a huge human being. And, I get why guys don't want to take charges, because that guy is 280 pounds. You get an immersive feeling. I get it. I totally get it. It's my mom and dad love sitting on the front row. They like being that close. I don't. I want to see the flow of the game out and the flow of the game back.
So are they more baseline front row, or are they like sideline front row?
Well, they said baseline. That's where I do have a ticket there. Or two tickets there,
so they do baseline. Have you ever seen Larry?
My mom is awesome. Like, she's grew up with, Indiana basketball, and she's just older ladies, kind of small, 5 feet, and super nice and a little bit quiet. And then she gets to the game and she turns into like a monster. I mean, I can't sit by my mom at the game. She's cursing at the refs, and I'm like, who are you? So I can't sit by them either. So
she's tailor-made to be front row. We
love her.
Row.
Yeah. We love her.
That's awesome. Have you ever seen Larry Bird smile during a game, like when you're watching with him? You ever seen him crack an emotion?
I don't think so.
I swear.
I don't think so. Now that you think,
I could have an eye on him, an eye on the game. The dude's a statue. He don't move when you guys are sitting in your spots.
I know that there are times he's probably mad. I mean, he's got a little bit of a temper, but man, he's awesome to work with. And he is one of the best human beings in the world. He is completely different as you get to know him, and he kind of uses like that Larry Bird, quote unquote, sometimes, but most of the time he's just this great human being. That he's literally the wittiest human being I've ever been around, and maybe the smartest. Like if you're around him a lot, you understand how quick he is and what a good human being is. And I'll tell you, like he's the reason why I'm in this position. And I was his general manager for a long time, and he was president. He called me into the office one day, and he didn't tell me what it was about. And he also called Herb Simon, the owner, and we both sat down. And he goes, "Listen, I'd like to stay on as as something, and I will as long as Kevin is the president." And he looked at Herb and he said, "You hire him, and I'll stay on." And literally, we made a deal for me to become president and him to stay on as a consultant in like 2 minutes. And it shows you what kind of person he is about believing, hiring within. If you serve him well, he does right for you. I mean, he is insanely loyal if you're loyal to him. Now, if you're not, good luck.
Yeah.
But if you help him and do what's right, not for him, but for the organization. He was always about, if it's right for the organization, you do it. If it's not, don't do it.
Right. Do you have any insight? Is he going to be making an appearance in Space Jam 2? Is he going to be reprising his role?
I'm not at liberty to talk about that. I have no idea. I literally have no idea. I hope so. That thing was awesome. Space Jam 1 was awesome. I can't imagine them making a better Space Jam.
I know. It'd be tough for sure, but an all-time line from Bill Murray: "Larry's not white, Larry's clear." That's
That's right.
Okay, I'm gonna finish up here with you with just a few kind of off-the-wall rapid-fire questions. What TV show are you watching? You watching any TV? You got any time for any TV to binge watch anything?
Not much, but me and my wife were watching The Undoing. HBO, real solid.
Yeah. Were you okay with the ending? I heard there was kind of.
I think they've left it open, which is what they normally do.
Okay.
The guy that did that, I can't remember the guy's name, but he also did Big Little Liars too, which was awesome.
Okay. I saw all over Twitter, and I haven't checked out, and then everybody was trashing the finale, and I was like, I don't really know if I want to get into that.
But I love new nonlinear TV. I hate commercials, and I love watching like a show where you can watch a couple episodes. Man, it's the way of the future, and I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you a wine or a whiskey guy, or neither? Wine.
Yep. Cabernet Sauvignon.
Let's go. That's what I drink.
If I can get Screaming Eagle. Have you heard of Screaming Eagle?
Haven't.
So the owner of the Denver Nuggets owns this really high-end winery. I've only drank it once, but I mean, it's really hard to get, and it's really expensive. Screaming Eagle, good luck.
Okay.
If anybody can get it, call me, text me.
Because I'm usually only, my budget is just, boxed wine pretty much.
Mine's Boone's Ferry, so we're in the same.
Yeah, it's kind of been that, discovery during quarantine to be able to get some cheap boxed wine and have that going. You recently said, someone sent it to me, quote, "If a player has a lot of success here, then doesn't have much success away from here, then complains about not having success, it doesn't make sense to me." Was this a shot at TJ Leaf?
Yeah, TJ, it's not. People want to make that about, PG. The reality is I really enjoyed my time with PG. I wish, I took over and I spent some time with him in LA and was trying to give him a vision.
Yeah.
And the next couple of days he said, I'd rather be traded. And I get it. It hurt the organization. It hurt me because I really wanted to try to build something. But, I think the way I want to look back at his time here was in great and fond reflection, because we made it to 2 Eastern Conference Finals. We're literally 1 play away from making the finals with him, and then 1 year, and then the Eastern Conference Finals the next, and then one time before that we made it to the semifinals. So a lot of success with that. Roy Hibbert and Danny Granger and George Hill. So I don't want to dismiss what he's done here. That's not for me. It does hurt when he says we're not trying to win, because I can promise you with all our might and soul, Herb Simon is a phenomenal owner. We want to win at the desperate. It's hard as hell to win in this league, Joey. Yep. And absolutely, making the playoffs consistently is very challenging. We were 4th in the league in the East last year, and we didn't play well in the playoffs, but we were a pretty good team going into the bubble. And so
I think if the bubble and the stoppage wouldn't have happened, personally, I think that would have been a whole different story for you guys and for us in the playoffs. So that's just me, but I felt like that. You know what I mean? That breakage and everything like that kind of messed some stuff up. But go ahead, to your point. Yeah, I mean,
we didn't have Domas.
Right.
And Domas really runs our offense right now. But to say that we don't want to win it's just false. We do everything we can. We try to, and there are challenges to smaller markets. We never make that as an excuse, but we're doing everything we can. We built Herb Simon built this practice facility. It's the number 1 practice facility in the NBA. We're redoing the Banker's Life. It's incredible. It'll be the number 1 arena in my opinion. We do everything we can to make it a great place where if you're serious about basketball, come here and we'll do everything we can to make it a great experience. So sometimes that does hurt, and we'll just have to agree to disagree on that.
Well, yeah, I was just joking around about that quote. Don't want to end it in a negative. I appreciate your time. I love what the Pacers are doing, what you guys are doing. I got your back. I'm excited.
Thank you,
Joey. I'm excited for this season, and hopefully, God willing, the fans will be allowed, so I'll be able to get in Banker's Life with you and watch the boys play. So appreciate the time. Happy holidays to you, and we'll be talking soon.
Happy holidays, Joey.
All right, Kevin.
All right, Kevin Pritchard from the Indiana Pacers, president of the team, president of basketball operations. He's a dude calling the shots, making the moves, and what a combo, I mean, he's the bigwig. He's a head honcho, and he took the time with me, some 27-year-old kid down the street, to talk about his favorite team. So awesome, dude. Really, really appreciate it from KP. That's my guy. Before we wrap up on a Monday, let's go through a few bracket do's and don'ts. Bracket do's and don'ts. All right, we're not talking about things that you need to pick for your bracket. I'm talking about, okay, now the bracket's out, Selection Sunday's over. Don't do these things in terms of, your friend group or being in the office or anything like that, all right? Look, if someone hasn't responded to the first 2 messages, email, text, whatever, first 2 messages about a bracket challenge, they don't want to do it. They don't want to be a part of it. So just let them go. Take them out of the group chat. Don't email them again. Don't even bring it up at the water cooler. They don't want to be in it. If they wanted to be in it, they would have responded. Or they would have approached you about it. Just remember that. First 2 messages, they're out. Okay? The more brackets that you fill out, I really believe this, the more brackets that you fill out, the less amount of friends that you have. And maybe you want to be a bracket guy. If you're that passionate about it and you want to, oh, God, this thing stinks. What the hell did you do? What did you do to this thing, dude? He's sleeping. He doesn't care. If you're a bracket guy and you want to be a bracket guy, okay, own it. That's you. But don't brag about how many brackets you filled out, Don't talk about, oh, I got them in this one, but in my family pool, I got this one, so I'm good there. Just don't. All right? One's enough. That's plenty. Also, don't talk about guard play. I feel like that's always a go-to, for the small talk, for the talking about brackets, when you feel good about the squad that you have. Just when it came down to it, they got better guard play. How many times have you watched them? Yeah? How many times have you watched Winthrop this year? Don't use guard play as something to make you seem like you know about basketball and you know about that team. I don't want to hear about guard play. When it comes to winning in March, man, it's all about guard play. So it's just March? Not the whole season? It's just in college too, not the NBA? Comes down to it, they've had a good year, but man, Villanova just has better guards. You've watched a half of a Villanova game and you heard Dick Vitale talk about them. Come on. Those are a few of the ones right off the bat. Bracket do's and don'ts. Comment yours, bracket do's and don'ts. Tweet me your bracket do's and don'ts. Those are the first three that came to my mind that just automatically I had to get them out there. No guard play talk. Don't fill out more than maybe 2 brackets. 1 is fine. 2 if you're doing like a family and like a work one, I guess, or whatever. Don't have 5 brackets. That's just pointless. And the first one, if you're not getting a message back about the bracket challenge the first 2 times, they don't want to do it. So stop texting them about it. All right. From Jake, last one here. Who's more annoying? My 13th bracket is still perfect guy, or there goes my bracket guy? Probably there goes my bracket guy, because like that happens so often. And it's like the first day. And it's every day. First day, second day, Second game, somebody loses, like a 4 seed loses. Well, there goes my bracket. Might as well rip this up. Put that one in the fire. You're taking your trash. You're taking your lunch or your trash. Hey, can you take this with you? Mine's done. Anyways, another great show today. Got more coming up this week. March Madness, Indy Insanity is here. Be sure to get your merch below. Cup of Joey Dad Hat, Cup of Joey mug. Subscribe to the channel. I'm coming back every single day. All right. 9 to 10 a.m. Spring forward has got me all jacked up. 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern. Back every day. Come hang out. We got the games on Thursday and Friday starting up. Can't wait for that. And more good guests and everything coming up on Morning Joey's. So be with me every morning. I'll talk to you tomorrow live at 9.